This is a 1966 Valiant convertible. This is the car that we made the original templates for the early A-body frame connectors. But all convertibles have a torque box, so we need to trim these to make sure that they fit around the torque box. So all we got to do is trim one leg. So I just hold it up on the inside, take my marker, and mark whereabouts I need to trim the tail, which is right about there. So I just made a mark right here on the tail, and I'm going to trim that off right there, right like that. I'm just going to cut that one piece off, and then everything else should fit. You can just leave that run.
Yeah.
So now I've made a trim like that to trim around. So now this is the first time we're actually putting these onto this car to see if they're going to fit.
Where'd you put those pliers? You had them.
This is actually a pretty close fit. The vice grips I put over there somewhere. We got to take a couple of these knockouts out.
There you are.
So a lot of these different frame connectors are designed for different vehicles, and they've got knockouts. They're cut out, they're laser cut, they're not cut all the way. To take this knockout, this one lets it fit around the brake line and the seat belt and the seat bracket. So we just grab it and twist it, it'll come right back out. We can use a pair of channel locks or pliers or something like that. Just a couple of little bends, and that notch comes right out. And now it'll fit around that bracket.
You want to? You gotta knock the fronts
We gotta
out.
do the front ones too. And on a lot of cars, this car has the brake line on this side and the fuel line's on the other side. So again, if we know where the lines are and we know they're not going to move, we put the notches in. The one area that we can't put notches in for is the emergency brake cable, and that's because the emergency brake cables move from year to year. I don't know why the engineers messed around with those, but they did. So we don't put knockouts in for the emergency brake cables because we're not sure where they're going to be. But for items like this where we know, put those knockouts in, so now you got a really nice clean notch from the guy at the factory who designed them. That's not bad for a very first time fit. Oh, it's grabbing the brake line here though. That's not so good. Alright, we're going to need to add another notch around for that brake line. Where did I put my Sharpie? I got it in my pocket here. Okay. There. We just marked on there we've got to make another notch for the brake line. And then these will be in. Put that out right there. We'll be right back. Alright, now we've made our modification. We cut the little notch for the go around the torque box in this one. We'll put this up in here. They fit right up against the floor, and they are ready to weld in. Nice and tight all the way across, and we're good to go. And that's how a frame connector ought to fit. And you can see that it's not the lowest point on the car. The exhaust hangs much lower than the frame connector. And especially on a convertible, boy, it just adds a ton of strength to these cars. It boxes these in. We've had some of the cars we've measured the torsional twist, and we've had a 46% increase in torsional frame connectors versus not having them at all. So this should work out pretty well. This one, it's good to go. Early A bodies for the Mopars finished.